Welcome to Behind the Headshot podcast. My name's James Romans. I run a media production company called Flair out of Stavanger, Norway. Behind the Headshot podcast looks to interview different industry professionals about their career. Where they started, how they got to where they are now, industry insights, and, hopefully they share a tip or trick along the way. The reason it's called Behind the Headshot is because it starts with a headshot session before the mics are even rolling. The reason for this is, working as a photographer for a couple of years now, I find that the best pictures are when your talent are most comfortable. So that tends to be towards the end. Once we've chatted, once we've got to know each other, we've got to know sort of the things that work, things that don't work, and people are then comfortable. They have sort of confidence in that I can capture their image. So by the end, that's when they're the most comfortable. So I thought, well, you know what? Instead of just going, yep, thanks, bye. Maybe we sit down, have a little chat, and just sort of get to know a little bit more about the person and, tell a bit of their story. As you can see, this is something I'm very new to. I'm still learning the ropes, so you're going to have to bear with me as I, mess up along the way and develop on the skill level. But, I think we're going to get off to a good start, hopefully. We've got an ace guest to start off these episodes with. We're going to be talking today to Anette Thorsen. She runs Truper Thorsen. She's a digital marketing expert working with Google Ads, based out of Stavanger, Norway. And I cannot think of a better person to have started this series with. Let's just dive in.
I'm Anette. I work with Google Ads, mainly Google Ads, tracking cookie consent and basically just helping businesses getting control over their Google Ads account.
Awesome. And you do this all through Truper.
So it's called Truper Thorsen, or Truper Thorsen, which is, I get a lot of, people would sing Super Trooper to me, which is funny, but that's not where it's from. It's not spelled with a double O, it's Truper, so true performance, because I think that performance is more than just numbers and data and conversions and all that. So it's true performance, but also it's mainly my main goal, or my thought process behind the name, is that it's basically me. I am the product, not just what I deliver. And considering why I started my own business, it makes sense to call it Truper, because it's been sort of a shit show, but it's been a good 2 years now.
Yeah, so you've been training for 2 years.
Yeah.
What would you say has been the highlight throughout?
I think basically it would probably be that by doing my own thing and starting my own business, it's massively improved my mental health. And that's the reason why I started. I'm still working because I started my own business. I think that if I was still to work as an employed by a constant somewhere, I wouldn't be able to work, because the amount of pressure and the boundaries and everything you have to, you're forced into this box set by other people. And by working for myself, I don't have to confirm as much. So now I'm able to just do my own thing.
Yeah, so you sort of feel that you can focus more on the task at hand.
Yeah.
And I guess that also goes from what you were saying before of you're part of the product, basically.
Yeah.
People contact Truper. Yeah. It's not just for Google Ads, it's for you.
Yeah.
What sort of scale businesses does Truper work with?
I do pretty much everything from, I've got some smaller clients that actually don't have, my minimum package is 15 grand a month. So it's not everyone can afford to hire me in, which is fair enough. So I do courses for the smaller ones that want to just take it themselves. And I just want to make sure that people have enough knowledge to not get exploited by Google. And then, so I've got those very small ones, and I've got some medium ones that I'm doing the monthly package for, that have workshops and stuff, and some B2B, and some larger international ones within travel. And so it's a pretty varied group of clients.
Is that the sort of thing you would say you enjoy? You like the variety? of it?
Yeah. I really enjoy seeing when like the tracking is set up properly, and you can actually see in Google Ads, and you can see all the conversion value and all that crazy stuff, and it's really good to see that. Okay, so after 3 months or 6 months, I can see that all the effort that we put in the beginning is finally paying off, and we've actually doubled or tripled our conversion value. Those are probably my favorite ones where you have an actual value to look at. And then you also have more like the typical B2B where you have a lead gen going, but you don't have a set value because it's such a varied conversion value from everything coming in. So everyone has their own exciting things about them, which makes it fun to work with. But definitely the larger international ones, seeing how you can, using different countries that are purchasing, and you can sort of use the target audience more and work more with a higher budget. And
Is it sort of you just have more data
Yeah.
to be able to work with?
Yeah, really. Because if you have someone, I've got a couple ones that are very local in like up east. And because I'm not very familiar in the area, and it's a very small target area, it's not that much to work with. So the challenge is finding out what can I tweak on, what can I better, how can I develop this account. But with the larger ones, it's sort of like more on a global scale. So it's like, okay, which countries can we look into? Well, we're getting more from this city in this country, and which of, so it's still, and it's a larger budget, and also just make it sure like the smaller budgets are also fun because you get to, challenge yourself. You constantly need to press the price further down. So it's good challenges in both.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What would you? Okay, obviously the follow up to that has to be, can you name a particular project? Obviously, we don't have to go into details.
Yeah.
But a project where maybe everything just clicked. You're going through and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, we're working. This is going well, and then you tweak that one thing that suddenly kicks it off.
Yeah. That would be the international client within travel, because I took over that account in October, November in 2023. And when I started doing tweaks, we kind of just doubled the conversion value within a month.
Dang.
Yeah. So we went up from, I think it was 180 something, and then we doubled it from 1 month to the other. And then the next month we were up to maybe 900,000 in January, February, I think it was. So it's
either way, it's just
it's money. Like, it's a lot of money.
Yeah, that's awesome. And was it just taking a different approach? Was it just sort of locking it in a bit more? What was the sort of?
Yeah, I think like the main thing, which is, for me, it's pretty obvious, but I just went in and I asked, what are the highest converting countries? So I'm just going away from the data in Google Ads and going straight to like the sales channel, because what I'm selling on, the highest selling countries in Google Ads might not be the same as, like, because they were doing massive amounts of activity. So just in general, which countries? So they gave me a list over, I think, 15 countries, and then I took the 10 best ones and I put it in, and then just tweaked all the settings, and then we just hit it.
Awesome.
That was fun.
That's gonna be sick.
And it's kind of like, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, it's, that's the beauty of it, right? It's clearly you came in.
Yeah.
And there was change.
Yeah.
And often I find that with marketing and so on, correct me if I'm wrong, but normally it's not that quick.
No.
Of a
This
change.
was-
It's normally, yes, we'll onboard you and then give us 3 months to sort of find our feet and establish not.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's gone very well.
Yeah.
The first month.
Yeah. We got lucky, I guess. No, but that was really good. And we had, there was a couple of things that were, I'm going to make sure that I'm not saying too much to.
No worries.
But we did, like, you have, when it comes to travel, you have certain periods of time, like it's on season, off season. So, and the decision time is different.
Yeah, of course.
'Cause
The decision
expensive
time
trips.
is, you're sort of deciding maybe 6 months before you're actually thinking of going, or a year maybe.
Yeah. So then you would say, okay, so we need to start advertising for this like 3 months before. And then we just started adjusting the start times and stop times on the ads. And that also had an effect because we were like, well, people aren't booking summer trips in summer. They're booking summer trips in winter.
Right.
So we needed to adjust the times as well. And that worked.
Awesome.
That's good.
So you work with a wide range of businesses.
Yeah.
What would you say is maybe a common issue that is just, you come in, you see it, and it's like, just fix that?
Yeah.
What would be the number one thing that comes to your mind?
That's actually something I always check accounts for this because it's something that Google just set up and they won't notify you. But it's dynamic assets, and you have to do like 5 or 6 clicks to find out where it is. Turn that off. That's the first thing. That is basically Google just putting stuff into your ad. Like they run through your website and just put stuff into your ad. So you have no control what's actually showing in your ad. Yeah, it's wild.
That's mental.
It's insane. And then they also have this recommendations. So where you can set up what you want Google to do and just sort out for you. But usually when you do that, you also lose control. So they can change your bid strategy and change your ads and adjust your bids and budget and do whatever they want. So those are the first 2 things I always change is turn off auto apply. Because if you have auto apply to all recommendations, then Google will just do whatever the F they want to do. And that's how they make their money. And the same with dynamic assets. Same thing.
Right. Though that's actually mental.
I know.
They're just like, yep, we know what's best. We're just gonna come in and make your ads for you.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna guess, when you go through, can you see the performance on those?
Yeah.
Is it good?
No. Well, they get a lot of clicks and stuff, but we don't want to see the clicks. We want to see the conversion rate. So
right, so their clicks are high, but but that's just because they're probably putting it everywhere just at a lower cost.
Yeah, absolutely irrelevant crap. Like there will be like if you have one misspelling of your brand name on the website, then they can put that into your ad.
Right.
So yeah, if you have sites without a parent site, then they would just put that in as well. So I had one client that had like a campaign site that they had that they didn't do anymore, and the ad suddenly just had like names and offers that they didn't have anymore because the dynamic site link was on.
Right, they still had their site indexed, and it went there and decided to create some great offers that no longer exist.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So that's usually the first thing I do is turn that off.
Okay. What would be, so that's maybe a preventative action that can be taken. What is a thing sort of companies should start considering doing if they aren't doing it before? Let's say they haven't even started with marketing, right? No marketing department, but they're like, okay, we're doing good. We want to start growing a bit. Then like, oh, we need to invest in marketing. What can they do themselves? Or would you just say straight away, get someone to help you, hire someone, or work with an agency?
It's sort of, it depends. If you do have the budget to hire someone to do it, do your research and then hire someone. But do your research first. But I would probably, if you have to choose between a website and social media, do social media, then your website. And then
that's interesting, because a lot of people would say get your website because otherwise your social media doesn't point to anywhere.
Yeah, but if you go online and you search for something, then your social media is going to come up anyway.
Okay, yeah.
So if you go to Google and you search my name, then my LinkedIn is going to come up. Not my website, my LinkedIn. Well, if you Google Anette.
Yeah.
But I would usually, because that bar is so much lower than actually creating a website. Because what people don't realize is that the second you put up a website, you start tracking people. You have cookies, and you have to. You're legally, you have some rules to follow. And people aren't aware that, because everyone's thinking, well, it's a website. Everyone can set up a website.
Yeah, they do it once. They do it once a year. They set it up, and then it just stays there, and
Yeah.
it's there. Sort of thing.
There. Everyone can find us.
Yeah. In your experience, what is one of the biggest challenges businesses face today when it comes to marketing and communication?
I think there's a lack of competence in-house, but there's also a fair bit of lack of competence when you hire agencies as well, because you might hire an advertising agency and they might be really good and creative at concepts and movies, or like one part of it, and then you have, okay, so the digital aspect or the automation aspect of newsletters and all that, so they don't have there's no streamline in everything. And I still haven't really found an agency that does that properly, that have everything in-house. So I think that would be one of the biggest issues for businesses today. And I think maybe they also may be thinking that so if you have someone making this massive strategy for you and you go, oh, this looks good, but we're just going to do this one bit, and then you're missing out on everything because they focus on just that one thing that they think is going to save the day. Like, well, the Google ads, they think that, oh, we'll set up on Google ads and we're going to get so much more money. It's like, no, it's not going to save the day. So I think that's pretty much, I think that is the biggest challenge.
So essentially finding competence across the wide range of space.
Yeah.
Because it's, I mean, I understand that of like, you're never going to find someone who can do every single point.
Yeah.
And marketing, I feel like, is a balance between
so much
content and the quality of the content versus the strategy around it. And if one of those things is out of balance, then suddenly you get it tipped in one direction and you're kind of always chasing your tail of, was this, oh, we fixed the content, it was the content that was the issue, and then the strategy, oh no, the strategy was, and then you just shift the balance of prioritization on each, right?
Yeah. So everything needs to go hand in hand. And I think that sometimes we forget to focus on, like, if I get this a lot, what should we focus on? Should we focus on paid ads or should we do organic? And it's like, you should do both. You really should be doing like all of the things. But if you know what works for you, so if you already know that, okay, so Google works for us or Meta works for us, then you should focus on that. And when you get that up and running and you know what you're doing and you're actually seeing results from that, then you can start expanding into different areas. So I don't think that you should go out and do everything at once, because you really don't have to. At the same time, I'm sort of looking at it as, and this is where I start losing money, because I'm if someone comes to me and it's like, well, we got money to do this, like Google ads or social media, what should we do? And I would go, I think you should do social media, because depending on the target audience, but there's so many people using social media as a search platform right now. So if you're not being active on social media like Meta, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, then you're gonna have a hard time with people finding your ad on Google Ads, but then not finding anything about you. So if we can't see or build a trust with your brand because you're not available at other places on the internet, then we're not gonna spend our money with you.
I kind of want to follow up on what you're saying there, because I have a sort of a opinion on when people are going, should we do organic or should we do paid?
Yeah.
Right, because I get asked, can you make some pictures for our organic versus paid? And obviously when I think of that, I'm like, okay, different approaches.
Yeah.
But I've always said to them, which one are you doing well?
Yeah.
Because often I find that they're like, yeah, we're going to invest in social. And then after a month, 2 months, suddenly the posts go down, the engagement goes down, they stop doing it. If they're going to do social sort of organic badly, wouldn't you say just do ads well? That's sort of my thought process on it, but I don't know what your opinion is.
When you say that the organic is going badly, like they're not getting enough engagement, or they've stopped posting.
So they've just lost the drive to do it, right? And there's, let's say it's a big company, there's one person, that person suddenly is out ill, or that person, no one's following up on it.
Yeah.
And it slowly just dies out, right?
Hire someone to do it.
And okay, yeah.
Yeah, just hire someone to do it. Because it's and there's it's your brand. So if you have this one person that had the responsibility for doing social media and they quit in 2017, and I see your ad now and I'm like, okay, who's these people? What's this about? And I go into your account and the last post was 2017. I would be like, I don't think they're really in business anymore. What am I getting an ad for?
Okay. No, that's fair play. I guess the comparison would be every company's blog page.
Yeah.
Yeah. The typical, you go in and they set up a blog and then they post it. Yeah, they stop. Exactly.
Yeah.
What platforms would you say are key sort of social media platforms to be on? Which ones right now you're like, okay, because there's so many, right? You have to be on all of them?
No, don't do that. Well, it depends on your target audience, because if you're trying to reach like a younger group, you would probably go on like TikTok is my main thing. I probably wouldn't recommend Snap to anyone, not organically, because what the fuck? Honestly, who follows? No, I don't know. But LinkedIn as well. LinkedIn is a very good channel. But what people underestimate on LinkedIn is the fact that personal profiles are doing so much better than business profiles. Like if you find Truper on LinkedIn, you will find empty space. Totally empty space. But on my profile, you'll find heaps of stuff. So I'd probably say get your Facebook page up and running, get your Instagram up and running. Depending on your target audience, consider TikTok. But LinkedIn, definitely. But in saying that, I'm not saying like it's important to say that I'm not saying to do socials instead of a web page, like get your website up and running. But if you have to start somewhere, just get the socials on, because that's your main way of talking to people, reaching people, and getting customers. So you need customers, you need money to build a website. So get the customers, build the website, get more customers.
Yeah, so I guess maybe to see if I've got it right, you're not saying just do social, don't have a website. You still need to have a place where they can find you, contact you, sort of easy place there.
Yeah.
But maybe when you're starting up, you're starting marketing, you're going, okay, I have this pot of money.
Yeah.
Let's not put 90% of it into a website and 10% of it into social. Let's do like 70-30. Create a simple landing page that you can find and then
just
dedicate more time on social.
Yeah, just do something. Because you need, if you're thinking, it's just depending, like, is it a massive, like, are you starting out with millions and investors and all that jazz? Because in that case, you do a website first. Do the website first. If you're like me, I started a LinkedIn page and a Facebook page, I think, and then I just started. And because I just had to hit the ground running, basically. And that was my main way to get new clients, was through LinkedIn, my personal page.
Your personal.
My
personal brand.
My personal brand. So that's where I would start. But don't underestimate the power of a good website. And in saying that, don't underestimate the power of a blog. Because everyone's so afraid of, oh, we don't want to have a blog because they're thinking about Rosa blog. Mm-hmm. And it's like, well, if you have issues with the word blog, then use articles, because it's part of building the SEO and the page and website, and for people to actually find you organically on Google.
Yeah, so in my case, I don't call it a blog. Yeah. I call it case studies.
Yeah.
Where whatever client I've worked with, we do a project, case study, and obviously in that I'm going to emphasize if we supplied them with a webinar,
Yeah.
then I'm going to make sure that the keyword for that page is webinar.
Yeah.
And so on, maintain sort of the SEO, Stavanger, all these things, make
Yeah.
sure I'm relevant within that keyword.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Then I think you've given us a great amount of insight.
Yeah. I didn't mention Google Ads once. Did you notice?
Did you?
I didn't.
I'll check it in the edit. I'll just start inserting it randomly.
Yeah, Google Ads. Make sure like a subliminal cool message.
So if people want to talk to you, find out more about what you do, where's best to contact you?
This is probably where I say Google. You can find me on LinkedIn or visit my webpage, truper.no.
Truper.no. Awesome.
Yes.
Well, thank you for coming along.
Thank you.
Hopefully you enjoyed the headshot session as well.
Yeah, it was fun. That was great fun.
And we'll talk soon.
Yeah.
See you tomorrow.